Welcome to Sports Spotlight. Today we are going to turn our attention to both college and pro sports action. I'm Nicole Will. We are going to welcome a hometown hockey hero. The Detroit Red Wings have hired a new general manager. Here's Parker Foster with the details.
Steve Yzerman, one of the best players that has ever played for the Red Wings, winning 3 Stanley Cups, has now become general manager for the Detroit Red Wings. Steve Yzerman became the general manager on April 19th. Yzerman was the Tampa Bay Lightning's general manager for 9 years before he came back to the Red Wings. Yzerman said his press conference that he came back to the Red Wings to be closer to his family. Some of the best players on the team currently are Dylan Larkin, Tyler Bertuzzi, and Mike Green, and Yzerman is only building up with some of the best, youngest players in hockey. Yzerman has done a lot of work ahead of him. Under his guidance, hopefully we will be able to bring back the Stanley Cup to Detroit. I'm Parker Foster from M6, your hometown station.
We look forward to seeing the progress Yzerman can make to get the Red Wings back into the playoff races. Let's stay at Little Caesars Arena for an update on the Pistons. It was an important season to see where the progress. Where do they go from here? Caleb Edwards has more.
It's been 3 long years since the Pistons have made the playoffs, and fans have been waiting for this very moment. Unfortunately, the Pistons' playoff run came to an abrupt stop. Top-seeded Milwaukee Bucks enjoyed a dominant regular season and have been perfect so far in the playoffs. On Monday night, they pulled away from the Detroit Pistons in the second half of Game 4 to secure a 127-104 blowout win, and with it a 4-0 sweep in their first series. With the Pistons now behind them, the Bucks have now set their sights on the Boston Celtics as their Eastern Conference semifinal series will start in the coming days. The main goal in Detroit this season was to make the playoffs, and they've accomplished that. Nobody is expecting much from them in the first round, particularly with the banged-up Blake Griffin. The Pistons organization will now refocus this summer in hopes of making 2019 to 2020 even better. They will do this by drafting better players next year and will work hard all summer by practicing during their offseason. They will hope to do better next season and want to make the playoffs again. I'm Caleb Edwards from M6, so back to you guys.
I look forward to seeing the Pistons continue to improve. One of the fastest ways to improve in the NBA is through the draft. Ben Westrick talks with DeMarco Singleton to see what direction they think the team will take.
On Thursday, June 20th, the Pistons will have a good chance to add a new star player to their roster. Joining me today, I have DeMarco Singleton, sports analyst and expert, to talk about some possible new pickups for this year's draft. So, DeMarco, what position do you think the team must acquire?
I think the team must acquire a shooting guard and possibly a point guard.
Who do you think would address that need, or who are some of the top prospects for the Pistons in this coming draft?
I believe that Darius Garland would be a very good pickup for the Pistons.
How do you think he would benefit the team?
Well, he brings a few things to the table. He distributes the ball very well, he shoots the ball very well, and he's just an all-around leader on the court.
Yeah, he does seem like he would help the team out quite a bit. What are your thoughts on some other players like Bobo and Romeo Langford?
I think Bobo and Romeo are both outstanding players, and I feel like Bobo would come into the league right away and just be a dominant force. And Romeo is a really good shooter, so he could come in and just improve from there.
Yeah, if the Pistons find that special player, we all may have some fun next season. I'm Ben Westrick for M6 Television, your hometown station.
Speaking of the NBA draft, Teddy Wiley shares which Michigan State and U of M players may be going pro.
MSU and U of M had a successful basketball season this year. Both MSU and U of M lost to Texas Tech in the Final Four and Sweet 16. But now that the basketball season is over, some players from MSU and U of M are thinking of leaving school for the NBA draft. Junior Cassius Winston is coming back to MSU for his senior year, but Nick Ward has confirmed that he is entering the draft to play in the NBA. At U of M, Charles Matthews, Jordan Poole, and Ignas Rodriguez are all entering the draft to play in the NBA. Both Coach Izzo and Coach Beeline will need to develop younger players if they hope to have successful next season. We are sure that fans of both schools will have plenty to cheer about. For M6, I'm Teddy Wiley, your hometown station. Back to you guys.
We wish all of the players the best of luck in making these important decisions about their future. Now, let's shift gears to the NFL draft with Jacob Garijo and James Sargent.
Thanks, guys. With the 2019 NFL first-round draft pick underway, all 32 teams are hoping to leave with the next superstar athlete on their team. Today, I have James Sargent, our resident NFL draft expert, here to talk about the Lions draft. So, with the Lions' first-round pick in, who else do you think they'll look at?
So the Lions have lost a lot of key players this season. So I think Michigan cornerback David Long will be a good pick for later rounds. Boston College defensive end Zach Allen, key player. He's done really well this past season. And I think those two could be really good picks for the Lions.
The Lions have lost more than a few key players, but what part of the team do you think will be needing the most help?
The part of the team that will be needing the most help, tight end. Tight end's going to be a key position for him. Losing Glover Quinn, that's going to be a really big spot to fill at safety. We've lost a lot of defensive players overall, and I think defense is going to be needing a lot of help with this draft.
Looking back, the Lions haven't had the best track record in previous years, but based on prospects and coaching staff, how do you think the next season will fare?
Being a Lions fan's tough sometimes, and hopefully this season will look a lot better. Getting a lot of new players. I know we're going to get a lot of athletes. All of us Lions fans are hoping for a good season.
We all hope the Lions score with this year's draft class and are looking forward to the upcoming season of NFL football. Thanks for your insight, James. I'm Jake Garijo with M6 Sports. Back to you at the studio.
Many local football fans love following their favorite college players. Ted Fye shares some Michigan and Michigan State players that may end up this weekend as the NFL draft continues.
This year's draft is jam-packed with talent from Michigan-based universities. Devin Bush is a 5'11", 234-pound inside linebacker from Michigan University. Devin Bush is considered undersized for his position, but more than makes up for this with his top-tier athleticism, running a 4.43 40-yard dash time at the Combine, impressing the scouts and shooting his draft stock through the roof. Rashawn Gary is a 6'5", 278-pound edge rusher from Michigan University. Rashawn Gary ran a 4.58 40-yard dash time at the Combine. Rashawn's 40-yard dash time mixed with his big frame makes him a freak of nature at the defensive end position. LJ Scott, the 6-foot-tall, 227-pound running back. LJ Scott had a good career at Michigan State, but injuries plagued his senior year. Hopefully he can bounce back in the NFL. The cornerback coming out of MSU, Justin Lane, had an impressive junior year, putting up 16 passes defended and over 70 tackles. Lane is expected to go in the second round of the 2019 NFL Draft. Thank you. I'm Ted Fye. Back to you guys.
Do you have a favorite player? What an exciting weekend for these young men. Now, let's check in on spring football practices for both Michigan and Michigan State with Ryan Moses.
Michigan and Michigan State are already starting practice for their football season, which will begin in September. Michigan has hired a new offensive coach that is going to run a spread offense with his quarterback, Shea Patterson, and this will create complications for defenses. Michigan State will have their star quarterback, Brian Lewerke, return for the season. After coming back from an injury in his shoulder, both of these teams are ready to compete for the upcoming season. I'm Ryan Moses on M6, looking forward to some football action.
Preparation for next fall is already underway at most colleges. Will this extra work pay off? We'll see. In our last report, Teddy Wiley talks about how our Detroit Tigers are rebuilding their roster for future success.
For the sixth time in the last 10 years, the Tigers opened the season on the road with a 7-game road trip, which featured 4 games. While the new season starts it also the second year of rebuilding the team. They will be keeping some veterans players and adding new younger ones in. In the past, this has led to Tigers several losing seasons. Is it expected that they will experience 5-year-long run of losing in baseball? Now we will be asking Mr. Smith, a Tiger fan, about how he feels regarding this. How do you feel about the team being rebuilt?
It's been a tough couple of years for Tiger fans, but rebuilding is a part of any organization. At times you have to part ways with some of your older veteran players and bring in some new players, and it's just something you have to struggle through.
What do you expect from the next upcoming games as a Tiger fan?
This summer, it should be kind of exciting. Some of the young prospects are starting to work their way up to the major leagues, and should be a pretty fun summer. Hopefully they'll be competitive, and it'll be fun to watch some of the younger players down in the minors as they continue to develop. And with a little bit of luck, we'll see them in the major leagues maybe yet this year or next year and get this rebuilding taken care of so we can get back into cheering for the Tigers to win a championship.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Smith. I'm Teddy for M6, your hometown station.
As a Tiger fan, I hope the young prospects in the Tiger system can continue to improve. Is a championship team within our grasp? We covered quite a few topics today on Sports Spotlight. We hope we could see all the great success for our team pretty quickly. I'm Nicole Will. See you next week.
Time.